And then the next thing I heard was first position, best graduating student of this particular class, and then they called her name.
Ganga. Glorious moment.
The child screamed.
Wow.
She was shocked. She looked at herself. She looked at me.
Hi and welcome to School Talk Cafe. You know what we do here, but hey, for those who don't know, let me just tell you briefly. We look at issues and have discussions around them. What kind of issues? Issues that plague our primary and secondary school system. We have discussions around them to try and help sensitize stakeholders in how these things can be resolved. Also to help parents see, some of us as parents don't even look deeply into these things. We just allow it to happen. These discussions help us parents to look at it more critically. It also sensitizes the school authorities, parents, teachers, school owners, and even government, to the plight of our children in this school system. Today, will still remain your host. My name is Sele and I'm co-hosting with Adeayo. Let's launch into today's topic. Quick. We're looking at improving academic performance in the child's life. Now, when we talk about academic performance, what are we talking about? I think it's self-explanatory, isn't it?
Well,
when we say academic performance,
how well is your child doing in school?
Yes, and improving that performance. Now,
what's your role? What's the parent's role? What's the teacher's role?
Yes. Now, for the child who is doing excellently well, you also need to help ensure that child maintains that performance. For one, other children are looking to beat that child academically and say, this guy is always coming first, or this girl is always coming first. I need to topple that child and take the position. So you as the parent must always remember that is happening, and so the child must stay on top. Now, you know that any slight or little slip up will make that child come down and another child will take. And some of these children don't quite take defeat so well. They don't. It actually, especially a child who is used to winning, coming first, getting all the prizes and all of that, and then has to now stay on the bench when they're calling another child to come and take the math prize or the English prize or the literature prize.
Those of us who never got those prizes.
Well, we know how to. They use that in rub body.
Yeah, we are used to the bench.
But for a lot of children who are not used to that kind of thing, how do you help them stay on top? And even when they slip up and they come down momentarily or temporarily, how do you help boost their morale back such that they develop that will and the zeal to fight back to gain their position again? And so that's what we'll be looking at on today's episode on School Talk Cafe. You want to fire the first shots?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
I won't take it from where you start.
Okay. Now, let's look at case study. John.
Why John?
Average.
Why not Janet?
Okay, Janet. Average performing child in school.
Average?
Yes.
Okay.
Average. And then you realize that for some reason that you quite can't place, Janet is slipping up in academic performance. The grades are dropping steadily, and at the end of that term, Janet is in the last
22/25.
Yes, the last five. She's one of the last 5 students. She used to be maybe like 10, 11, 12 before in position in the class, over 25, I believe. Now she's 22. She slipped down to that, and that if care is not taken, she will just sit down at 25 very soon.
Be first from behind.
Yes. So how do we even get to the root of the matter? And then how do we start to help her get back up, get to her average, and then even shoot beyond that?
Okay. As a mother who had a child who struggled in the throes of 22/25.
No wonder the thing just came out from your mouth. In fact, I was still struggling to say bottom 5. You just gave me the position.
Nah.
So you are speaking from experience.
Oh, yes.
All right.
And it wasn't like average. Okay, so remember we did a scene, an episode where I said left-handed and was forced to write, and I said she became she-oriented. Yeah. So that was like a steady decline for her. And we got to the point where there were 27 in a class, and my baby girl was doing 22, 23, and I was like, it's not my shade. It's not my shade. For me, it was a very painful experience because
for any parent,
but this is somebody who is very sharp-witted, very outspoken, very this, and then come down to academics, you are 22 or 27, 22 or 25. So for me, it was intentional teaching, intentional about her assignments, about her understanding concepts, about bringing the teaching and learning experience home in concepts that she understood. Like for instance, my first, when I was teaching her how to count, if you say 1 + 1, my first daughter never got the concept of 1 + 1 until the day I bought chocolates. And I said 1 chocolate plus another chocolate. Oh, light bulbs went on. 2. Okay, I have 5 chocolates and I removed 3 chocolates. I mean, you have 2 chocolates. Light bulbs were on and then we're firing. So I brought that back to this second person and began to have those literal interactive teaching experiences. I began to understand
visual aids,
yes. And then most importantly, I was talking to the child. We're having those, was I spanking her? Yes. Was I scolding? Yes. Was I shouting? Definitely. I was doing all those, but at the same time, I was talking, I was speaking into the child, I was speaking to the child. We're having those prayer sessions where we'll hold our hands and we'll pray, and then I'll ask her, what do you want? But there was a particular day, my mama came over and I said, please pray for her. And then my mama just asked her, so what do you want God to do for you? And she says, I want to be first. I want to do well. And we just kept on having those conversations, those deliberate interactions, and then, I kid you not, from 22/27, we moved to 12.
Wow.
From 12, we moved to 7. From 7, we moved to 5. From 5, we moved to 2. Then we changed schools after a while. And I will never forget that day. She was finishing grade 4 in Abuja, and they were calling, it was prize giving day. And unknown to the school, we're leaving to Ibadan. And then they called prize giving, and they were calling 3rd position, 2nd position. And then the next thing I heard was 1st position, best graduating student of this particular class. And then they called her name.
Ganga.
The child screamed.
Wow.
She was shocked. She looked at herself. She looked at me. Looked at her siblings. Looked at the person calling her name. Like, no.
Can that really be my name that I just
said? And she was screaming, and I was like, so yes, it is possible to have a child in the throes of the class. But the parent's job and the teacher, because I was intentional about the teachers, when she's moving, because I realized that there was a lot of trauma involved in what she was going through. I would go to the school, I would go to the teacher. Whenever she's moving from one class, I would go to the class. I want the teacher involved. I will have the conversation with the teacher. This is this child that's coming into your class. I want to know. I want to be really involved in this. And I will have those conversations. So every teacher was on board. I had learned from the teacher who changed her handwriting. So every class I was always involved. I was always talking. So even the class teacher was strict that this girl that came in seemingly struggling had done so well. So it's possible for parents to get really involved and see their child move up the ladder. Now she's in a school where they have an honor board and she's self-motivated. She's self-motivated.
I won't agree with you on her being self-motivated out of the blues.
Well,
Something, you see, children form habits.
yes.
But you see, as parents, our job is to help them form those habits.
True.
Habits don't get formed overnight.
And by chance.
Now, you kept on saying something before I lose my train of thoughts. You kept on saying something. We moved from so. We moved to another position. We moved. You kept on using the word we.
Oh yeah, because it's my way.
So, as a parent, you need to get yourself to that point where it is we, not this child, this child. You are still detaching. It is we. Your win is my win. My win is your win. And so that's why you could say, oh, we moved from, and I was just smiling as you were saying, because I mean, he was telling me something. I was reading in between the lines. The thing that you did not say is that you became involved. It became you.
Yeah.
And that child.
True.
And so if there was anything going wrong with the child, it was like something was going wrong with you.
Yes, definitely.
So if you have not gotten to that point as a parent, I say play. Don't play. Because the truth of the matter is this. You cannot be detached from your child.
Sure.
And expect that the child would improve academically. Because that child doesn't even know. You are the parent giving the sense of direction.
Yes.
And the motivation. Now, when you say the child is now self-motivated, I beg to disagree. She learned it from somewhere. And it stayed with her by dint of hard work and repetition. You see, repetition always gives birth to habit. So that habit now is the one you inculcated in her. And so all she's just doing is rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. But if there was nothing for her to build on, then there'll be nothing to rinse and repeat.
True.
So we need to build that in them to the point where we can now step back. You know, it's like when you're teaching a child to ride a bicycle. There are trainers,
wheels,
you know, those training wheels that you put on either side. And then as the child gets to understand how to balance on the bicycle, the wheels come off. And then you watch the child just go. And after a while, they can't forget it. You just jump on the bike and you ride. You don't need to be looking for trainers anymore. And that's what this is. And so she can be self-motivated today because she had done a work, roots that were dug deeper and deeper for her to stand firm on. And so I cannot reiterate this enough. You have to be involved. Now, this is where I want to sound a note of warning to parents. Not warning as in I'm threatening you or anything. I'm just saying, look, you can't leave everything to teachers in school and lesson teachers at home. You have to be involved. Very, very much involved. My dad, of blessed memory, God bless him. I know he's in heaven right now, and God will continue to bless him.
Amen.
My dad asked me offhandedly at that time a month to WAEC. 1 month. Maybe 1 month and a few days to WAEC. How's your preparation for WAEC? And I said, oh, fine. And then he asked me particularly about geography. And I said, oh, geography, I don't think I'll do geography for WAEC. And what do you mean you not do geography for WAEC? And I'm like, I really don't like the subject. And then he keeps prodding, asking, pushing, which a lot of us parents, I've seen children who, in fact, even in my time, whose parents never ask them about anything. They just wait for the results to come. And then when the result comes and it's not favorable, then they start abusing, lashing and flogging and all of that. And they say, oh, is it not your mates that came first? That mates that came first.
There was something happening in the background.
A lot of things were going on. Like my mom would say, when you see a duck gliding smoothly on water, if you look under,
There's some feet.
the feet are paddling like crazy to achieve that smooth glide that you are seeing on the surface of the water. I never forgot that. So when you see people successful at anything in life, there's some serious paddling. They stay up all night, they do this, they do that, they research, they put in the extra hours, they bite the bullet, they conquer the fear, everything is going on, and then you see them on the surface, and then they say, oh, winner, the best, this, and they're lifting up a trophy, and you think, okay, it was all rosy. It's not so. And so what my dad did was, you see this geography, it's not so hard. You are going to do it. You are going to do it. And he got a lesson teacher for me, Mr. Kimbogo. The man, in fact, he saw the geography scare as Ogun, and he faced it. Yes, I'm telling you, God bless you, sir, wherever you are. Mr. Kimbogo took me through the entire syllabus for geography in that 1 month, and I came out with a C4 in geography. Imagine if I'd been doing or had a good tutelage, from the beginning, I should have been hitting A1, because in 1 month I covered the syllabus and I did a C4.
Yeah.
You know, we've been on this for a while, and of course we have not exhausted everything, but we know that you have comments that you would like to share with us. So please comment, like, share on this very episode on School Talk Cafe. We'll be seriously looking forward to hearing from you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. From my end here, I would say we've done quite a bit on this, and we want to hear from you so that we know to do more. Adebayo, what do you think?
Well, for me, I would say the time that you're meant to be supporting your child is at the foundation stage. It's at the beginning. I don't know if I told you about the father that was caught writing jam for their child. That's not the kind of support you are talking about.
No, please, absolutely not. Helping your child write an exam. In fact, the exam is too far. Helping your child do their homework. Not helping them do with it.
Yes.
You're helping them do it. There's a difference. So helping with means you help them understand,
yes,
you help them,
teach
them through it, and then they come up with the answers. That's helping them with. Helping them do means you take it off them and you do it.
Work it for them. Like when you tell a child, and I'm going to shake it in. Like when you tell a child in school to draw, the teacher gives the child a drawing assignment, an art assignment, and then you see the child coming back with a perfectly drawn art piece. It can never be my child. I will not take your pencil and your drawing back. Like draw amoeba.
Make your
draw
mistake.
it anyhow you want to draw it.
Do it as you will and learn from that.
And you are teaching the child how to draw. Now when I see that same girl draw, I marvel. Because I'm like, see, there is art somewhere in our family line. Bring it out and draw. And that's how they all learn how to just, no matter how, just start. But you see parents who come with the same map of Nigeria, then somebody actually go and bring a perfect map of Nigeria for a primary school child. Habana.
So please don't help them in that way. There are other more constructive ways that you can help, and we've shared our experience along those lines. And so please, if you didn't take anything home on this, please take that. You're not helping them at the end of the day. You're actually doing them a disservice. You're doing more harm than good, because when mommy and daddy are not there to help in that sense,
John and Janet,
Janet and John will fall flat on their face, because they're not used to doing it alone.
Yeah.
And so you've not helped them at the end of the day. With this and on this note, we say bye for now till we come your way same time next week with another episode. Take care. Bye.